Hello friends, welcome back to my hobby home. My name is Cathy. Thank you so much for joining me today. We are working our quilted cow March block. It's our third block. This one, it doesn't have a name to it, but friends, let me see if I can find the one that we are doing. It looks like the one that we are doing today is this block right here. But mine is going to look a little bit different. So friends, I have already done some pre-work. This is using the kitty cornered ruler here. I do have a link down in the description if you are interested in getting this ruler. The first thing I have done on the ruler, it gives you your instructions on how to cut your block A and block B, or A unit and B unit. This is going to be your A unit. There is a line here. This is going to be your B unit. And this is where you trim your blocks up. So I've already cut my A units out of my dark blue. That we call this the kite unit. And my B unit, I have cut 4 of these out of my white fabric. And those are the only 2 that we have. So let's get started. We are to take our A unit and our B unit. And friends, I always have trouble getting this correct because I want to put the wrong piece on here. But I think I have it here. There are notches on both ends, so that should make it a little easier. I have to remind myself that my 90-degree corner, or my L corner, is right here. So we are putting this together and we are going to sew this 1/4 inch. I have this light on, but I can cut it off because I don't need to use it right now. I just need to line up on that 1/4 inch on the side of my foot. And we are going to do all 4 of our kite units like this. So friends, how are y'all doing? I am doing much, much better. Thank you all. I'm getting there. Slowly but surely, I am getting there. I am excited to be back in my sewing room. Y'all will notice that I'm kind of like sewing a day and then taking a day off. That's, in reality, that is what I am doing. I thought I would try to get some behind the scenes sewing done. It's not happening. What you see me sewing is all I'm sewing right now. I'm still taking it easy because I just don't want to overdo it and cause myself any unnecessary strain or sickness again. So I am going to continue to just do this slow. You know, March has always been a difficult season for me because I have some crazy serious allergies, friends. And I never had these until I got older. And y'all, it is just something else. And it does not help that here in Louisiana, we are in our bipolar weather season. At night, it's down in the 40s. You know, it's really cool. But during the day, we're in the 80s. So, you know, we're just trying to stay well right now. But with temps like that, everything thinks it's time to bloom. Right now, I checked my garden and my blackberry bush has blooms on it. My fig tree has new leaves on it. My Rose of Sharon, it's got new leaves and buds all over it. My crabapple tree has new, well, I think it actually has blooms on it, which is kind of crazy, but you know, that's what happens here in Louisiana when we have those warm days and cool nights. Everything just thinks it's time to bloom, but we still have one day that it's going to get almost to freezing, and I hope, you know, I'm not covering anything up this year. If it doesn't make it, it just doesn't make it. I hope everything makes it. But friends, you know, I can't do all of this stuff now. But friends, my garden is protected on the north side. I have trees and my house is on the north side of my garden. So that is protected. But, you know, I completely understand. Guys, I'm going to have to sew this direction because I want to keep that notch at the top. So I'm hoping it has enough protection. And being that it's not actually getting down to freezing, I'm hoping, and it has a tree cover over it too. I do have some larger tree canopies, and all of our trees, guys, are already in bloom. Everything. I've got trees that's already got a green umbrella on it. I have lots of oak trees, very tall oak trees. That's mainly what is in my yard because I am allergic to pine trees, so I don't have pine trees. Now, I do have, well, I guess I can only say I have 2 cedar trees now, maybe 3, because that ice storm knocked one of them, completely uprooted it. I don't know how that thing did not hit my house. It was leaning already towards my house. But it uprooted it, and somehow how it fell, it did not touch my house. It wasn't very far from my house, but it fell in a direction that just did not make sense. But I'm happy it did fall in the direction that did not make sense, because if it had fallen in the other direction, it would have hit my house. And even though it wasn't a large tree, it would have still done some damage to my roof and possibly rip some siding off of my house, maybe my shutters, because it was right at what is now my husband's office. It was right at that office. That used to be my son's bedroom, and it was the smallest bedroom in the house, and my husband made it into his office after my son moved out. Friends, we are just getting this along here. I tried to be a little more prepared today, because Wednesday, that video you probably noticed it was kind of choppy. My transitions weren't smooth. I could not get my editing software, which is on my cell phone. I could not get it to export the video to my cell phone with my transitions in it. I had to remove all of my transitions to get it to export. I don't know what was up with that. My husband tells me I need to use my computer and get some software on that. But guys, the YouTube software that they have is wonderful. It has the sound bar at the bottom. And that's my first edit, is I go through, and where there's no sound, I cut it out, so y'all don't have big spaces of no sound in there. And then I go through and I edit out things that aren't necessary to be in there. And then I put my transitions in. Well, it wouldn't take transitions. Okay, friends, now we have our 4, I guess, corner pieces, not sure. So now what we are to do is to draw a diagonal on the back side of both of our, I think, J fabrics and L, you know, pair it with an F right sides together, and it says sew 1/4 inch away from the diagonal. For this one, what I will do is I will line the outside here of my foot on that diagonal line, and that is 1/4 inch. And I will sew on both sides of that line. Now we do one with our white, and then we do one with I don't know what color it is. They give you the letters in here as to which one you're supposed to be sewing it with. And this is the other fabric. This is my Walmart fabric, guys, that I got. That is so pretty, that I think goes a lot better than the other fabric I had chosen. So we are sewing both of these on that diagonal. Let me make sure I have them lined up real good. And if I'm not quite 1/4, that is okay, because that'll just make my block bigger. And it does tell me what size to trim it down to, which then I'll have it at the right size. So what I'm going to do is take these off, sew them on the opposite side of that line. I guess this is a good challenge for me, just coming back to sewing here, to do this quilted cowl block using that kitty corner ruler. And friends, that thing is amazing. I am interested in looking to see what kind of other blocks can be made with this, because it is fabulous. It pretty much, it gives you all the instructions on that ruler. So here we're doing our second block. And friends, it is Friday when I am recording this. You should be seeing it this afternoon. I just had to get in here and sew. I had hoped to do this Thursday night, but I spent time with my family instead. I took my dad and my stepmom out for dinner, and my daughter and her fiance and my grandbaby showed up. He was so sweet last night. He don't normally do real well in restaurants, because normally he's woke up from a nap, and she told me, she said he was sound asleep when they drove up. And we had already finished dinner, but we sit there with them, and he, of course, I had a to-go box, because I had gotten a regular fish dinner, and it come with like 6 pieces of fish. I couldn't eat no 6 pieces of fish. Okay, so now I am to cut on this diagonal. But anyway, I had 6 pieces of fish, and I had 3 left over, and I had a baked potato with it, and I had half a baked potato still left. And he kept trying to get in my box, so I just opened it, and he grabbed him a piece of fish right out of it. He'd never eat fish, but he really liked it, because I asked him, I said, is that good? And boy, he don't talk to me. He was just nodding his head like crazy. Let me press, and I will be right back. Okay, friends, I have all of these pressed. So our next step is to draw a diagonal on the back side. This is our JG square. And we had to do that on both of them. And we're going to take our JG square, and we're going to take the JH, which is this one, and we're going to put that JH right on top of that JG, and we're going to nest those seams. I'm going to go ahead and pin those seams together. all the way down. Wait, I'm pinning on the wrong side, friends. I need to be pinning on the other side, because that's the one that my line is on, my diagonal. But I'm still going to pin these all the way, because even though I'm not sewing the direction that I'm doing the pins, I am sewing across it, and it just helps everything to stay nested if I pin it. For me, you may not have to do this. I just have to do it, guys. I just have to do it. Now, I'm definitely making sure where it is, where I'm going to be sewing across it, I'm definitely making sure that is pinned. I could probably get away with just pinning on both sides of the line. But let's see what we're to do. We're drawing a diagonal line, and we're sewing 1/4 inch on both sides of this line again. And friends, I'm going to tell you, when I trimmed these, I did trim them up. But when I trimmed them up, they were almost exactly the size they needed to be, almost too short. So actually, if you want to get on that line, that may be a better bet to make sure. Y'all, I'm having trouble with my foot pedal down here. It's moved on me. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually have that line under my foot instead of on the edge of it. It's still kind of on the edge, but it's underneath the foot instead of on the outside of the foot. So we have our first one. So let me just try pinning right where that line is. I'm really enjoying this quilted cowl. I put my pins in maybe upside down. I need to make it where it's easier for me to sew. Feel like I might have got off of that. Maybe it didn't nest so well there, but I have really been enjoying doing this block of the month. I think it's because it has challenged me. I really like that. I really like that it has challenged me, because this isn't just, taking your fabric and putting two pieces together. I'm learning a new ruler. I'm learning, different blocks that I can make with the ruler, the endless possibilities. Now, is this for everyone? Absolutely not. Some people might not would like this. I really like the creative side using this ruler. It has opened a world of possibilities for me. And friends, I had somebody tell me one of my videos, the sound was not as good. They thought something had happened with my mic. Something did happen with my mic, I'm pretty certain. I do have a new mic. My other one gave up, just gave it up. And it wasn't hard to use. It was a very detailed mic system. It was the Rode Wireless. It's a very good system. I'm going to say that. But more complex than I like. This here is a DJI. I really like it. It's got a magnetic thing on it. But it is very easy when putting it on to cut it off. The cutoff button is right here on the bottom. And when I put it on, I think that day I might have accidentally pressed the off button and therefore did not have a mic while I was recording. Now today I can see my green light is on. My green light is on my receiver, so it all looks good. But I think that's probably all that it was. Hey, I am not here to profess to be a technology person at all. I am not. I do know how to work a computer. I do know how to do some things on a computer. I'm actually very proficient. But as far as like attachments and things like that, no. That's until I get used to it, I'm not going to claim to be proficient in it. I'll probably never claim to be proficient in it. Alrighty, friends, we have all of our squares done. We are ready to start piecing together. So let's just get started here. We are going to take a kite block, and then we are going to take one of our, I guess this is like an hourglass block. And we are going to just put them together with the white on the up side. Guess that's what we're going to call it, on the top. Making sure I have everything lined up here. So we've got the first two there, and then we do with an hourglass with our white towards the outside, and then we will use our solid blue. This is our center. We're just piecing these together real quick. Oh, I love this block. Everything has come together. I'm going to say easy and hope I'm not jinxing myself, friends. But I hope you all are able to be in your sewing room. I know I have a few people that aren't able to, but I hope you're enjoying watching us do this. Uh-oh. Did I put the other one? Oh, I think I put it on wrong. I think I did. Uh-oh. I think I did. I was supposed to put my point, but you know what? No, that has to come off. We have to take that one apart. So let's go on and take this one apart. And I will do my top and my bottom rows at the same time here. So let's get that coming apart. I knew when I was putting that together, I was like, pay attention, make sure you got it going the right direction. I was like, well, I got my point going up, but it was the wrong point, guys. It should be the thin point, not the kite block point. So let me put my little friend back up here, and we are going to do the top one again. So we are turning our point up, and we're turning this up. Real life, friends, real life. If this don't happen in your sewing room, my goodness, you're an expert. But I think it even happens to the experts every now and then. I'm no expert. Don't claim to be, don't want to be. Okay, now let's do our bottom one. We're making sure it's turned down and our white is turned down. Our next step, we will be putting our last block on each row. And friends, it's just slow and steady and being patient here. Okay, so now that's my last row. This is my middle and my first row. So you can fix any problem you might have. It's not the end of the world if you make a oopsie. Oopsies are okay. Some of them you can live with. Some you want to take apart and do over again. But that's your choice. That's your decision. A lot of people won't notice oopsies. Now that one would have been noticed. That would have looked like a strange star had I not fixed that one. But you know, I have made stranger things. I have made stranger things. I'm hoping to get this one edited and uploaded. And I think, guys, I think this is our Friday that we are doing our Yuletide sampler. I still have not got my second part of my other one done. Hope to do that this weekend. I think I am going to cut my phone off this weekend and take no phone calls at all this weekend and just sew. That's all I want to do is sew. Alrighty, so now we've got those done. I don't know if I'm going to press them before I sew them. I may not. Let's see. We have our top one here. I can probably pin everything. No, I'm going to press. I'll be right back. Okay, friends, I now have these pressed, and the top and middle rows are now pinned together. So we're just going to start putting these together. Seeing if we can't get us a... Uh-oh, it's wanting to be a little cantankerous here. So we almost have the March block put together. And friends, what I was telling y'all tonight is I'm pretty certain this is the second Friday of the month, and it is Yuletide Sampler 2. I am so excited. I haven't even cut my fabrics. My goodness. This is our third row we are putting on here, friends. Alrighty, friends, so we have our March block completed. Let's see what it looks like. That is a beautiful block. I love that, friends. Oh my goodness, I love this. Message for the Quilted Cow. Please do this again next year. I'm loving this. So, friends, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have enjoyed this block. I am loving it. Give me a thumbs up. If you have not yet subscribed, please do. Feel free to leave a comment. Tell me what you think. I do try to respond to each and every comment personally. And as always, until I see you again, I hope you have a very blessed day. Bye, friends.